What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 89 of the Offshore Gamescast. I'm Dave.
I'm Dylan.
And I'm Lile.
This feels like it's wrestling, and I'm happy about this.
There's explosions in the background. Dun, 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 dun.
I just want intro music.
We have intro music.
My
In
own
fact, I
one,
believe it's
Dave.
playing right now. No, I want that too. That's how we should start the podcast from now on.
We'll have like title cards for each person and
Yeah.
everything.
And then we shoot a video each with our entrance.
Yeah.
That's like the only semi-wrestling thing that I would do and keep my headphones on.
I approve.
Good.
What's your wrestling name?
Dave Scusting.
Oh, you're a heel. It's... All right, Dave Scusting. Today we are talking about The Pale Beyond. Lyle, you've gone deep into it.
Oh yeah, you will all
Freezing
get
cold.
an earful. I can tell you that much for now.
Based off the podcast, we're all the Pale Beyond here.
No, you're not wrong.
Well,
All right,
The
coming
sequel,
up.
The Pasty Beyond.
it's still winter, so I think it's fair.
Yeah, yes. Coming up the next few weeks, March 28th, we'll be talking about Scars Above. April 4th, Octopath Traveler 2. And then April 11th will be Dredge. And Lyle, what's this indie game spoilers list you've done?
Oh yeah, I've on my YouTube channel, Lile's Indie Corner, I have done a top 5 video of 5 games that are ruined by spoilers. So if you are mad at a friend or something, just send them the video and annoy them a bit by spoiling fantastic games to them so they can't enjoy them anymore. That's my service to you.
Yeah, I have actively avoided that one.
I understand why.
I don't want the spoilers, even though I saw the thumbnail and I'm like, oh, I know the spoiler of that game. But I think a lot of people know that one.
Yeah, probably. I think I deliberately chose very well-known indie games that are a little bit older, so I don't spoil something that's too new. I also put time codes in, so you can avoid games that you haven't played.
That's helpful.
Yeah, that is a real service that I do. I'm not a complete asshole. That video did really well, though.
I beat one of those games. I beat one.
You beat one.
I beat one of them games.
Which one?
EU Death Bench.
I beat that one too.
We beat it!
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to negative episode 14.
Why are we going back? Because we all beat a game.
Because we didn't talk about it.
Oh, that was well before you started, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a good 20
years.
2004.
Yeah. I remember playing that when I was like 10 years old.
You know what I realized this week? I've been out of school for 15 years. It kind of scared me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm coming up on 9.
It's kind of scary to think about that. Anyway, let's talk about The Pale Beyond. I want to talk about this game because I've been looking forward to talking about it.
Does it make you feel young?
It makes me feel good. I don't know about young. So, The Pale Beyond. It was developed by Bellular Studios and published by fellow Traveler, who is a, I think, pretty well-known indie publisher of narrative-focused games, on February 24th, 2023 for PC and Mac. And it's, at its core, the mechanic is a resource management game. So kind of like if you know Yes, Your Grace or This War of Mine, in that kind of vein. Maybe not quite as brutal and dark as this War of Mine, but
I don't
just
know
like
these
gameplay
games.
wise. You don't know this War of Mine? Really?
I haven't played it. I know of it though.
Eh,
Are
Help
they
will come
also
tomorrow?
resource management games?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
probably why I
No,
don't know
Dylan.
it.
She just made the connection to a fucking FPS puzzle game.
Maybe it was cold. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's another connection. You married a lot of games last week too, so
You did. There were a lot of game babies happening last
Yeah.
week.
I never said that they would be married. They were just having a good time.
that's true. You said orgy. I remember that very distinctly.
There was a sneaky little pineapple hidden around.
SpongeBob?
You know what? He's probably a swinger too.
I can see
I
it.
don't know SpongeBob, but I can see it. I could.
SpongeBob swing pants off.
Ooh.
Okay, so resource management game that is set during an Arctic exploration, and you have to keep your crew alive for 39 weeks in the game. So it's
a
kind of
long time.
like 39 days that you have to play, because you always advance for a full week if you finish one day. It does take a bit of time. I think it was like 7 hours it took me to 8 hours to finish the game. And to start off with the incredible art style. You guys, if you have not seen screenshots of this game, please go Google them. It is so incredibly beautiful. The artists at this studio, just mwah! Oh my god. That was actually the way I found this game in the first place. I just scrolled through Twitter and saw a screenshot of it and was like, okay, I'm in love with this game. I don't even care what it is. I just want it now. So it is I don't even know what the style is. It's kind of like oil painting, but also comic book. Just like a mish of that.
Yeah.
And then set in the ice, which is so much more beautiful than I could imagine ice to be, because like we said when we did Blanc, everything was just white. I mean, that was a feature of the game because it wasn't black and white, but when you actually have color, you can give so much coloration to ice that you wouldn't think in grayscale, or when you have different lighting, because they did like some aurora stuff, so everything just was green and yellow, and it's so incredibly beautiful. And then also with the water that they did, I really, if you have not seen screenshots, please go look them up. It is really an incredibly looking game. And you always play it in an isometric view, which keeps the scale of the game small enough for the studio to complete the game. I watched a lot of their stuff on YouTube that they put out, and they really said that doing it isometrically really helped them keep the scope relatively small for them to handle, because it's not a big studio. And and you can zoom in, zoom out, and pan around a bit, and there's always something beautiful and incredible to look at. And yeah, I'm in love with the looks of this game.
That does make sense though, to have like that isometric view, because then they can set like, these are our boundaries, we're working within this space.
Yes.
And it does keep it kind of contained.
Exactly. And yeah, the character design as well, it's so unique for each character. There are quite a few of them. You have 9 main NPCs that you interact with, and then the rest of the crew. And all of them are instantly recognizable. As soon as you see their little portrait pop up, you know, oh, that's this one, that's that one. They are color coded for the profession that they have on the ship. So the researchers look different from the sailors, and the explorers and the navigators, they are all color coded in a way. And then they also have different elements to them class-wise. So if the researchers are more upper class, so their clothes are a little more upper class, and you can really tell. And it's also so unique, and it's also in this kind of painting comic book style. There aren't a lot of animations in here, at least 3D animations. It's mostly just the characters having different expressions and they morph into one another. You only have
Visual
like
novel-like.
Yes, exactly. It's more like a visual novel in that sense.
As dusk falls.
Yeah, kinda, actually.
What? What?
So you have like some smoke. You have the flag on the ship that is moving. So just like little details that make the scene come to life in a way. So you really do get a sense of movement and that something is going on without them having to animate everything, which was also just a cost thing in the end. But it's so beautiful.
I obviously, studios, you want them to have a good enough budget for what they want to do. But at the same time, when you don't have just unlimited money to make everything this like super realistic, super polished thing, and you have to get more creative with it and like kind of come up with unique ideas around that, it makes for some cool stuff in the end.
That's what I've been thinking. So many of these indie games have unique looks because they have to make it unique in order to make it work.
How much did this game cost?
20, I think. I didn't buy it, so I don't know.
You got to get really creative if you're working off a budget of $20.
Well,
it only costs. It's crazy. I don't know how they did it. The most cost-effective game ever.
If they did it on a budget of $20, a lot of people worked for free. I don't know if I wanted that.
There's some illegal employment practices going on.
A very happy volunteer work environment. This place seems really nice.
I think if I put out rumors like that, they will hate me for it.
That's why
it is not true. They paid their employees.
They paid their employees. Yes, the game is $20, so it wasn't made on a $20 budget. They actually had to wait years to get funding for this game. They walked around with it for a long time before it came to realization. So they did pay their people. All right, moving on to music and sound. Similarly to the looks of this game, sound design is absolutely impeccable. Every crack in the ice, you really feel that in your whole body. Especially, there's a scene relatively early on where the ship gets crushed in the pack ice, and it's so visceral that you really just feel that you've lost your home because it's so loud and and you really feel like nature does not want you here, it wants you gone, and it's telling you to fucking leave. And that really
by
is
breaking your ship.
Yes, by breaking your ship. And they took a lot of inspiration from real life Arctic explorations, because that did happen to some explorations, that the ships, when they got into the ice, they waited too long. Winter came, they just got stuck in the ice, and then the ships were crushed or turned on their side or something. And they really have like these incredible sound libraries of ice and how it moves when it's in a pack like that. So when it breaks apart and comes back together, and all of the crushing sounds that it makes, it's really visceral, and they really put that in the game and made that a feature. You are scared of this place. You're scared for a reason, and I really enjoyed that. But likewise, when you are on the ship and you are with the crew and you are eating with the crew, that's also a whole soundscape that they made, and it feels so inviting then. when you are really just sitting there with all your people and just enjoying a meal. And the music always also plays a big part with that, because there is one character who has an accordion who's always playing. So you really have that like sailor feeling
Yeah.
when you're all together singing songs and stuff. And
Do they
that's
take requests?
no. There's only one song that where they actually have singing in it, and that is incredible, because that's about your freezing ass, because you as the captain, you're not impressing them, so they are singing so they are just the word, they're just singing bad stuff about you, insulting you. They're just insulting you through song. It's incredible.
Oh, I am really cold. I fucking hate my captain.
Pretty much like that. It's awesome.
He took an extra piece of toast for himself for breakfast. I am very hungry and very cold.
Yeah.
I fucking hate him.
Yes, exactly. He's an asshole. And the other captain was so much better, and I want that one back. It's a lot about that.
I hate cleaning my toothbrush with someone else's toothbrush.
Ew.
I don't know if they had toothbrushes at that point. I think they just would have ripped out their gums with it.
They wake up in the morning, they just bite a chunk of wood and they're ready to go.
Probably, honestly.
The Arctic adventure ends with all of them needing dentures.
Whatever teeth are left after the wood chomp, they're ready to set out on their adventure.
Exactly. I mean, at like minus 35 or something. Oh, you are Fahrenheit. I don't know what that's in Fahrenheit. I'm sorry. But it's
okay.
very, very cold.
We're different than the rest
I'm
of the world.
so sick of America thinking it's so much better. Be like, yo, you know what 3 feet is? Guess what 20 kilometers is? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Guys, just use the metric system, really. The whole rest of the world does it. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
I know.
I've been
Dave, I
striving
can't
for
believe
this.
you implemented this system for all of
I've been
us.
striving for the metric system since I was 4. And it's still
Is that like
happening.
your campaign slogan?
I do so
Yeah.
much political campaigning.
Make America metric again.
Please do a presidential campaign with that logo.
I gotta get a hat with a ruler on the brim.
I would vote for you, Dave.
Fuck yeah.
Me too. I'm not even American.
It's all right. It counts.
So, also with this sound design, it really helps in like scenes of high tension, since there aren't real cutscenes, and as I said, you pretty much only have these scenes where something might be morphing, and there aren't real animations. The sound really makes that come to life then. So when, as I said, that scene where the ship is being crushed, I think that's only 3 screens that are changing, but it's like a whole scene, and you feel that through the sound. And there are a lot of scenes that work that way in this game. And I really
Do you have,
like
screaming in the background?
I think so, yelling at least.
Just-
I don't know so much about screaming.
Is
The
it,
dogs definitely barked a lot.
I still fucking hate my captain.
Just playing the accordion as it's happening. Is the game voice acted, or is it
No.
just like okay?
No, it is not voice acted. As I said,
Oh.
it's only that one song that they have,
Okay.
which it enhances that even more, because that's the only thing in the game that's voiced.
So let me interpret a conversation between 2 people hating their captain.
Yes, it is like that.
They're just handing a note back and forth. It's like they're in middle school again, passing notes when the captain's not looking.
It is like that, Dave. It is. They didn't dab, though. And so, from sound, which is, as again, not voice acted, but sounds.
I'm just imagining whoever survives at the end just dabbing up everybody. just a group of like 6 people just dabbing up back and forth, just like.
That's how some games end. High five.
Dabbing?
I mean, I've never played Fortnite, so I don't know. Does the game end with a dab?
You could do a lot of things to end that game off.
See? So there is a game that ends with dabbing.
Oh.
That's the canon ending of Fortnite.
The canon ending of the Pale Beyond, where they survived 39 weeks in the ice. They get rescued, and then they dab.
Oh god! Every time I hear it, it makes me. Do you guys know Morgan Spurlock, the Super Size Me guy?
No.
I mean, I know Super Size Me.
So he's whatever, the documentary guy. He's done a bunch of stuff, and he has this one TV show called 30 Days where he just goes and like, I'm gonna go be in jail and see what that's like. I'm gonna go live off food stamps with Easter coming, and I'm babysitting my niece and nephew. We're gonna see how that's gonna go. So hearing about this, I'm like, let's explore the Pale Beyond for the next 39 weeks. And like zoom in, and we're like, all right, let's get started. I hate my fucking captain. And then the game starts.
And then you die.
End up being like a big liar.
It doesn't matter. It was entertainment.
Reality TV. Anyway, music is also incredible. You have a lot of, especially when you're at first on the ocean, you have a lot of calm string music and the accordion whenever you eat with your crew, which you do have to do every day or every week. So you always get a bit of accordion music going. And then you also have an organ, which plays a big part in the soundtrack, in the score. And it's very appropriately used, in my opinion. It was never distracting, it was always enhancing. And that's what I really like about the soundtrack. I when the music draws too much attention, and that goes for sound design in general, that can be taken away from a scene. I didn't have that here. The only thing that was sometimes slightly off, I think, was to do with the sound and music editing, not with the design itself. Because
like volume levels?
It's not volume levels per se, but you did have occasions where it felt like the loop ran out, and then there was like a few seconds of silence, and then it would restart. Or you had screens where the sound wasn't properly implemented for some reason, and you could tell with the music oftentimes when one track ended and the other one started, so they didn't have a lot of good transitions there.
If I was an accordion player having one meal a week, I'd be fucking exhausted after one song. I'd have to like shake my arms out. It's like, give me a goddamn second.
There you
or
go.
Better
You
off
just
I think it's meant to be that you do have a meal every day. You just feed them for one day. You just do that in one day.
You should start adding like the stomach gurgles to the music.
Well, maybe.
It's like,
I did try to not let my crew starve, though, because that does have negative consequences.
Is there anyone in your crew who should have starved?
What?
Is there anyone in your crew who should have starved?
Probably my head of research. I didn't like that guy, but he's also pretty much the main NPC you interact with. I don't think he even can die, but like his people can die. So, and I like those, so I didn't want to kill them.
If I don't eat, I'm gonna kill my employees. I swear to God.
I mean, he wasn't like super duper bad. He was just very secretive about why we were even in the ice. So that's kind of a theme that's running in the story of the game, that you don't really know why you were sent out. I mean, they give a reason, but there's more to it, and he's the only one who knows more, and he is very married to the idea that you don't need to know.
I would think that if you're trapped there, especially after like the first few weeks, and it's like, we're here. At that point, it's just no. Let's maybe collect everything we know.
You'd think so, right? You'd think so.
I say you starve them.
It sounds like they're on the expedition to find Archibald Woodwicky's glasses and Megatron.
What?
I have no idea what that reference was about.
That was a lot of
In the first
words.
Transformers movie, you get a flashback scene of ancient explorers, like ice explorers, going out, and they come across these glasses. Well, it's Archibald Woodwicky's glasses after he interacts with Megatron and the Allspark and gets all the letters and stuff on his glasses, and then that's kind of how you translate the Allspark. But he ends up meeting Megatron. Do you meet Megatron in this game?
Is this what it feels like when I talk about wrestling?
Yes!
Yeah, I think
You just
so.
want to take your goddamn headphones off?
No, it makes me want to talk about wrestling.
It makes me want to take my headphones off. This is what happens. You start throwing out lore about shit that one person doesn't care about. It just makes you want to take your headphones off and, you know, just like not eat for a week.
Oh, so you want to join an Arctic expedition?
I only want to eat during pod once a week. And I need Lyle to feed me.
Yes, I will give you penguins and seals and
Whoa!
That's what you were eating?
Whoa!
I will feed you those. Is that
I don't
okay
even know
with
if
you?
I'd have. I might have the energy, but I don't think I'd have like the morale to play the accordion. I feel so sad.
You don't want to sing about my freezing arse?
No, I'm sitting here thinking I love penguins. So if I get a dead penguin, I'm gonna be quiet for the rest of these few weeks.
Okay, but if I give you, if I give you a big penguin, then we also get dogs back, and we can do more things.
What?
Yes.
If I eat a
it's
penguin,
the fish. It's not the
we
penguin.
find a bunch of dogs and they do shit for us?
No, it was actually with the fish. Never mind, though.
What's happening?
Yes, exactly. That's how I felt during that Transformers thing.
Why am I on this ice?
That's the question that you want answered at some point in this adventure. I promise you.
I dropped Chimchar.
I do love the music. I love the sound design, and I do hope one day they will put the soundtrack on Spotify. You can. I think right now it's only available through Steam directly, and I'm debating if I want it now or if I can maybe wait a couple months. But it is so good. So, moving on from that, we go to gameplay. And as I said, the most gamey part of this experience is the resource management stuff. So you have decorum, which in my opinion works more like morale than decorum, but whatever. And you have food and coal. And if you ever run out of any of these three, then your game ends, which is what happened in my first run, because I didn't have any more coal to burn and everyone froze to death. Yay!
It sounds like a victory to me.
Yes, definitely.
Number 1 victory royale.
I have to say, though, after the first mistrial, I really went through the whole game in one swoop then afterwards, because I had a much better idea of how the resource management worked. And I think in that regard, if you have played one or two of those, you will get this quite fast, I think. In contrast to something like this War of Mine, which really depraves you of everything that you need. And in every run, even if you have played the game for 1,000 times. So I think that in comparison, this is much on a bit on the easier side, I would say. So decorum you get from certain story events, and you can some of your crew can also get demoralized if something happens that they find morally apprehensive, for example.
Like
And
eating a goddamn penguin.
For example, yes, you can. I'm not going to say that. It will be too upsetting for you. You can send.
What are you, Chinese water torture the fucking penguins? Trying to get information out of them? Why am I on the ice?
Get me out of here!
Your head researcher like takes off the mask. They know all the secrets, and they are a penguin.
I was gonna say, they're like, you guys don't know.
Funnily enough, there was 1 week and one event where, like, every week some people come to you with requests, and then you do whatever you can for them. There's 1 week where penguins come into your tent.
They were visiting.
There was a colony that moved through the camp, so they just came to you.
And then suddenly the head researcher was missing because they went with the penguins.
Yeah,
their brethren.
They were so intrigued.
They just find like a completely flattened set of his clothes, and they're like, "What happened here?"
Oh no, our friend. Anyway, if someone gets demoralized, you can send them to one of your crew members, Kasha, who is the photographer and kind of also works as your therapist. So every time, so you can get decorum that way too.
Having someone acting as a therapist in this situation seems like a great idea.
Yeah.
Named
Yeah.
Kesha? If someone named
Kesha.
Kesha is my therapist, they're gonna tell me to wake up in the morning with a bottle of Jack. Like,
I don't think she does that anymore, though, right? Hasn't she
It
kind of
doesn't-
evolved from that music?
unfortunately, I'm still stuck in the glory days.
So, food, at first, you get that on the ship very easily because you are stocked, I think, for 2 years. Because that's what they did back in the day. They stocked a lot of food and stuffs because they knew that most of the time you were gone for a much longer time than you initially anticipated. But of course, as I said, that ship gets destroyed at one point, and then you have to go hunt, which is also where the dogs come in, because you need to use sled dogs to get to certain areas. And you have the same thing with the coal. So at first you get a lot of coal that's on the ship, and then you have to go hunt for seals, penguins, that sort of stuff. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm so sorry. Oh no.
So, a seal walks into a club.
Oh boy.
And then it's dead.
That's it. That's the
joke.
Story.
It's a joke.
Oh no. There's also, you get research points. I just say it now, don't bother with it. It's not worth it. You don't need it. I have finished the game not knowing what it was for. Then I read up on it, and yeah, you don't need it. Just don't bother. Yeah, as I said, people can freeze, they can hunger, and they can get wounded. And if you do not treat them, they will die. If they die, you lose decorum. So basically morale. So you need to take care that not too many people die, or you run out of the decorum, and the expedition will just tear itself apart.
It sounds like every time someone dies, you have someone else come in and be like, "Sorry, Jason died. We gotta take this painting off the wall now. Can't have it anymore."
You know, funnily enough, as I said, you have 9 main NPCs, and these NPCs act like the heads of certain groups. So these 9 people I don't think can die unless until the very, very end. But parts of their groups can die, and if someone from their group dies, you lose loyalty with them. And loyalty is kind of important, especially for the end of the game, and to get to have certain decisions that go towards the end. You should have your 9 main NPCs be loyal to you as you can. which basically means just be nice to them. So a big part of this game also works like a visual novel. So you will be reading a lot and making decisions. Because of the loyalty system, though, there might be some occasions where you might choose an answer because you think it might make them more loyal to you instead of what you actually might want to say to them. That's at least my experience. It's kind of like Paragon and what was the other one? Renegade worked because you, especially in the later games, you had to use them more and more, or you couldn't unlock the later instances of those. And that was also maybe sometimes not the thing you wanted to say, but you knew that you kind of had to because that's how the game worked, and that's also kind of the case here. So it's mostly about being nice to your crew, or you definitely risk losing them at some point. But I actually liked most of them. It was, except for the research guy, because he has some weird loyalties.
To the penguins.
Yes, to the penguins. And there are also some people are from the start more friendly towards you, and some are more skeptical of you and your skills, which makes sense. So yeah, it is. I think it's a fun system. It worked well enough to keep me engaged over the time it was going, because at first, once I was like through the first couple weeks, I thought, if this is all this game has, maybe that gets stale easily. But they do switch it up a lot. So you move from your ship to a camp on the ice, and then every once in a while you need to change camps because you cannot stay at one point too long because the ice keeps changing and it might just crack beneath you. And every time you go to a new camp, there is something extra that you need to take care of, that you need to pay attention to not lose people. And that made the gameplay far more engaging, and you also had to plan ahead more and more and more. And I thought that was a really neat way to enhance the gameplay that they had from the beginning. That's at least how I felt. There are still a few bugs, though. I had one instance where I couldn't reload a save. There is a save tree, so you get saved every week. So I only had to replay 1 week. But
you get saved, so you don't have to live through the whole 39 weeks?
No. You can... At the end, yes. You get saved. You might get saved, I should say. You don't have to. You might not get saved.
You don't have to. You can just join the penguins.
Yes, you join the penguins.
Some of the crew is like, I really want to like it.
I just want to be a penguin now. But yeah, there are different endings, of course, since this is a visual novel decision-making kind of game. There are different decisions you can have by the end. But yeah, there are still some bugs. I know that they are working on it. I've seen their Twitter blow up a few times over updates. So I think that maybe in a week or a month or so, most of the big things will be gone, and then you can have a really, really good experience, I think.
We got Resident Evil 4 remake coming out. Are they going to add Leon
to the Pay Beyond?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they could spin kick a penguin.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just start fucking unloading a clip on him. That'd be sick.
I can't picture Leon doing good in this situation.
With his leather jacket that would instantly freeze on him.
Like, instead of running around carrying Ashley on his back, he's just holding a penguin, just running around, holding out a gun. Where's that fucking captain?
So, as I said, it's about an expedition that gets lost on the ice, but you actually start at the recruitment section. So, you are Robin Shaw, and you are getting recruited by one Captain Hunt. So he sent out or plastered all over the city these invites, I guess, to join a crew to go into the ice. And back then, apparently, people did that because expeditions like this actually happened and sailors signed up for them. I don't know why, but they did.
It's like
And
walking up to a telephone pole. It's like, all right, we got a yard sale on the 4th from like 3 to 6. Oh no, we got a lost penguin. Someone wants me to go out on the ice for like a few weeks. No reason. All right.
Yeah, it's not even a reason. Just cause.
Get on the boat. Why are we going to the ice? No, I. All right, here I am though.
I mean, when you really think about it, what they told crew, I don't think made any sort of sense to them. If somebody rich comes up to you and says we're going to find the magnetic south, what the fuck does that mean to you as a normal sailor?
That we're gonna go look for the magnetic polarities in the south based off the Earth and space.
You think
that's a better answer than I would have been able to come up with?
If you say the magnetic south, either I'm right or there's just like a giant magnet in the south.
Yeah, it's just
that's it.
Like stereotypical red, like U-shaped magnet. It's just a big one right in the
And then
south.
there's a research vessel just like stuck to it, like diagonally just sitting there.
But I'm just saying these people actually signed up for these expeditions knowing that they would probably die. And that seems weird to me. But maybe that's just me.
Well, you either die or you get like $30, you know.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You probably didn't get a lot of money if you did come back. So but they did. You can customize your shore a bit so you can have different backgrounds like military, merchant, or criminal if you want to go for that. And that unlocks a few different conversation options with different members of the crew and also changes a bit. That's how they explained it, how Shaw talks. So if he's a bit more upper class, he will use a bit more upper class language in some cases and the other way around. So they did pay attention to how the player might want Shaw to come off. So your choices in how Shaw reacts to certain things will then come up more and more, and the crew will reflect on that in the way that you have chosen to act. Which I thought was very nice because a big theme of this game is leadership and how you want to lead your crew. But you go on this expedition to the ice. The Captain Hunt tells you it is to look for another ship that got stuck called the Viscount, and that is all you know. So you are going down there to find a ship that was lost like 5 years ago.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
Like, oh, hey, we just lost a ship. We have to go rescue them. No, they're gone.
Yep. And that is all you know. And that is why that I really did not like the researcher holding out on me for so long.
Is there some dude like on mainland sitting on a beach and a penguin like walks up and he just like drops a message in a bottle out of his mouth and he pulls it out and be like, "Oh my god, a distress signal!"
I mean, they do kind of have this thing that's why you have to survive 39 weeks is what they say. They will send a rescue vessel after that amount of time. That's why you have to survive for so long. Which, you know, if two ships on that route get lost in the ice, it feels a little stupid to send a third one.
Yeah, like, no, right. Keep sending them. Eventually we'll get them.
But I mean, sure. But then you go on this expedition, and of course the ship gets caught in the ice, and then Captain Hunt and a few of his crew just disappear. They're gone.
And that sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. And then you become captain because you were hired as the second mate, the first mate. And yeah, now you make all the decisions, and it's your job to keep the crew safe, relatively happy, and hope to God that they are loyal to you by the end.
I don't want
of the first lady.
I don't want to just jump into spoilers, like, but this feels like there's like a bigger reveal mystery thing going on here.
no fucking shit. You're in the ice for 39 weeks. You're not being told why, and a ship that's been gone for 5 years you're looking to find.
And the
Yeah.
captain just disappears with some people.
What do you think? You're gonna wind up at the end and there's a White Castle Herald? Like, of course there's a huge fucking twist. Like, we're waiting for it. And if there isn't a twist, then this $20 game with a budget of $20 then should be like a 1 out of 10.
Lyle, was there a twist?
Somewhat, yes. You do. It is kind of a thing that most things only get revealed at the very end. So there are some things that are peppered into the 39 weeks, but it is mostly concentrated, at least story-wise, to the beginning and the end. And everything in the middle is really more about your leadership style, how you choose to engage with your crew, and to really get to know these characters. Because every one of these 9 main NPCs has a story to them, attached to them, and events that happen with them and to them. And it is really about these characters and your journey with them. And then there's this mystery story about the Viscount and who your benefactor is. And there are definitely explanations for that, but don't expect them to pop up in the middle of the game.
Everyone's a penguin.
Everyone's a penguin. Everyone takes off their masks in the end. I wish there was an ending like that. That would be amazing if you somehow unlocked a joke ending where everyone was like, I was a penguin all along.
And then at the end, there's like a penguin with his thumb up, and it says "peng" and then "win," like you won the game.
Yes. Oh my god, amazing.
I would request the refund.
You have peng 1.
Peng 1, peng 2. But as I said, you change locations throughout the game, and there are some weeks that do not work how
Week 15 just didn't work.
No, what I mean is there are weeks where you don't get the typical gameplay, where there are story events that happen, and then a week goes by without you having to do the resource things all so much. So they do definitely have an eye on pacing of the story and to keep it fresh and not let it get stale, because you are doing this for a couple hours. So, and I think that worked really, really well if you do engage with your crew, because if you don't get people loyal to you, there's also much less talk around camp. So you do miss out on a lot of story and a lot of individual character moments if the characters do not like you, because then the whole group that says that is behind this NPC will just not engage with you. And that is also kind of like part of the if you are an asshole captain, no one just wants to talk to you. They just want things from you. And I love the main cast. The writing is really, really, really good. Every character feels unique. You can tell by the way they are speaking who is talking to you. Like, really, every character has their own unique voice, and that even goes for the rest of the crew too, to some extent. Everyone has their little figures of speech or their temper that really comes across in writing, which I don't think is easy to do if you do not have voice acting. Because a voice actor can really bring their own into the role. If you only have writing, then the writing needs to be that one step better to get that across. And I think they did that well. And if one of your crew actually does die, it hurts, because you knew them, you knew their face, you knew what they looked like, you knew what their role on the ship was, and then they're gone, and you will no longer hear from them. You will have some eulogies from other parts of the crew. They will say something about that character and will make you feel really bad for you letting them die. wasn't great. I only lost one, and it still fucking hurt.
When someone dies, do you get like some sort of just generic replacement or something for their role on
No,
the ship?
they are just gone.
Okay, so like that's just it.
Do you
Yep.
eat them?
No.
Fucking resource management game throwing resources out the goddamn window.
I mean, I only lost one. Maybe if you lost more than at one point, because you can't go out and get food anymore, maybe then they would start eating people. But I never got to that point, so I cannot tell you.
Never resorted to cannibalism.
Nope.
I want the twist at the end to be that the penguins are taking over and murdering everybody, and like you get to the Viscount or whatever, Viscount, and then you just like you're fighting the captain, and he's just got like a huge beak peck hole in his neck, and he's just stuck in his like seat.
It becomes a horror game. It's like Dead Space but penguins.
And then you get the penguin at the end. Peng lost.
Oh. Woo.
Peng game over.
Maybe for April 1st next year, we can make Bellular make an ending like that. The secret penguin ending. I would love that. But yeah, there are different endings depending on what you want to do in the end. And you can also, that is part of what I find so nice about the save tree, is that you can really go into that last week and then explore pretty much any option that you have, unless you have lost a lot of people, which I thankfully didn't. So I could really go in and explore, I think, almost every ending that the game has, except for if you just die because you lose on not having coal or something. And that was good, because then I did not have to play the whole goddamn effing game again.
When you do die, is that still like, oh, I could go back even just a couple weeks and kind of change up what I did there?
But you do have to delete. So you can only go back 1 week.
Okay.
That is unlocked. And then you can delete weeks that are above it to go further down the tree if you want to. And if you do start over at one point, it gets another branch. And then you can go from there, or you can go back into the old branch. So let's say I died at week 15. I'm going to go back to week 14, let's say. And if I then go on, it's another branch on the save tree. I'm no longer in the first one.
All right, so you're in a multiverse now.
Yes, exactly. Pretty much.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's how
So they could easily make it so one of those is the murder penguins.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And it should only happen. It should happen randomly, and like one out of every 1,000 playthroughs or something. So you have that one person that's like, yeah, the penguins are crazy, and then everyone's like, what are you talking about? You're weird. What are you saying?
I don't know how satisfying of an ending that would be for that 1,000th person, but it would definitely be amazing.
Yeah.
Imagine that person's experience, though, like expecting this whole game, and be like, guys, I don't know what the fuck game I bought.
Yeah.
That's kind of like...
thinking they bought the wrong thing.
And then that one person, like, I'm not going to play it again, so I'm like, this is my whole experience.
Yeah.
I mean, here we are.
I mean, like Clue worked when that came out. That's how they did. That's what they did, right? They just had different endings for different parts of the country, and then people were super confused when they compared notes. Right? That's how that worked.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Clue, everyone.
I don't know.
Masterpiece of a movie.
I never saw it.
I do have to get into one spoiler, though. So if you do not want spoilers, I'm not going to spoil anything about the ending, but something happens that I need to share because I'm dying inside.
Oh, I don't like that based on your note, then.
Yeah, Okay, so we are talking about spoilers. Everyone who doesn't want spoilers, just go ahead a bit. The dogs. So you have 14 sled dogs that you take on your ship with you, and then once you get caught in the ice, you use these dogs to go hunting. And you get to a point in the game where you need to take the lifeboats out onto the water because you need to get out of the pack ice. And the dogs can't come.
I'm picturing the people, like, the dogs are trying to go on. They're like, no dogs allowed, just people.
Yeah.
Crewmates only.
But that is what they do, and they make you kill all the dogs.
Do we know that they're dead?
Yeah,
Maybe they're just
you do.
waiting. Maybe they're waiting for 5 years from now the dog ship to come and save them.
Yeah, you can leave them on the ice, but the kennel master will be super upset if you do, because she wants you to kill them because they know that's a mercy. Because if you leave them on the ice, they will just fucking starve and freeze to death.
No. That's the start of the Pale Beyond 2, where you play as the dogs, and you're fighting the penguins.
That'd be sick.
I cannot tell you how much I fucking cried when they have the panel where the dog is looking at you. And then they do that thing where you can pet the dog, you can shoot the dog, or you can ask the dog, why are you looking at me like that? And I go, okay, I'm gonna pet the dog. Then the thing comes, pet it again, shoot the dog, or ask, why are you looking at me like that? So I pet.
Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that? Why?
I pet the dog again, and they do the same thing. Then they write, pet dog for the last time. Shoot the dog.
For the last time. Why are you looking at me for the last time?
Yes. And then you can decide not to take part in the shooting yourself and let your crew do it, or you do it yourself. But because the kennel master asked me to shoot the dog, I of course do it. And it's the most heartbreaking fucking thing, because you do hear the yelp of the fucking dog.
Oh, gosh.
They make that really, really hurt. And then in the end, she asks you to keep one dog alive. And then...
to learn from the mistakes of the rest.
No, because she fucking loves these dogs. And she wants to keep one.
The same path that they took, because you'll get shot, and then why are you looking at me?
If you could take one dog with you, why couldn't you just take all?
Because the way they explain it is that they would, on the lifeboats, just they wouldn't be able to be still on these lifeboats, so they would distract crew and
running in circles.
Yeah, that's pretty much how they say. They just say that many dogs cannot get on the lifeboats. It's just not.
Why didn't the kennel master kill the dogs themselves? Why are they putting that blame on you? I don't want to care. I don't care if it's a narrative morality reason. Just like, these are your dogs. I'm gonna pet them. You shoot them, and I'm gonna go figure out why penguins are killing people.
Probably because she loves these dogs and she raised these dogs and she doesn't want to kill them. So she would rather have other people kill them.
Fine, but she has to watch. Like, that's the only thing. If you're not gonna do it, you have to watch. Because now I woke up expecting my shitty life to be fine. It only just got shittier.
Oh yeah, it got much shittier. And then,
that's a rough thing to wake up to.
Oh yeah, as I said, you can. She asks us to keep one dog alive, and then that dog was always like the most, the one you got most attached to, because that dog is always in her character portrait, Stan Berry. It also has a name, and once you shot all the dogs, you go to her, and then it describes how Stanberry is hiding behind her, because Stanberry is now afraid that you're gonna kill them too.
That's reasonable.
I wish they really made it real, and you had to do that section 18 times.
Oh my
per
god,
dog.
no. I cried enough as it was. And then the game asks you, do you want to eat the dogs?
Well, did you?
No.
Ah.
I refused. I refused.
Do you want to eat the dogs? Yes. Do you want to make the last dog living watch? Yes.
Oh, anyway, that was my spot.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Why are you looking at me like that?
Give the kennel master the first bite? Yes.
I had to get that off my chest because that was traumatic for me because I love dogs. So now you all share in my pain. Thank you for listening. And I give this game a 9.5 out of 10.
Head to our YouTube channel if you want to see our top 10 dog deaths in video games.
I
It's
hate
just
you
10 of
so
these
much.
dogs.
Yeah, exactly. It's just 10 of these.
Coming in at number 4, The Pale Beyond. Coming in at number 6, A Plague's Tale.
Oh yeah, true. The dog dies in that too. Maybe I should make a video about that.
Honorable mention, I Am Legend.
Yeah, I really love the game. If you are into story-driven games and like some resource management, absolutely get this. You cannot go wrong. The art is amazing, the music is amazing, the writing is amazing.
The dog deaths are
You
okay.
do have, that's the one thing. That's the 0.5 points I deducted from the game.
You should have taken half a point for every dog you had to shoot.
Oh no. I cannot give that game such a low score. It's just too good.
All right, that's awesome. We love high scores.
We do. It's much better. It's more fun to talk about a game you liked than about a game you didn't. In my opinion, at least.
Well, it depends.
I mean, if you really hate a game.
There's a little puppy called the Anacrusis that's popped up once or twice.
Yeah.
Okay, we did have some news and fun facts. First, we had a poll, I think, on Twitter and Instagram. Right?
Yes, Twitter and
Yeah.
Instagram.
Your Antarctic expedition gets trapped in the ice. With your current skills and knowledge, are you surviving it with your crew? 33% said, I'm making it through. That's very courageous of those of you
Yeah,
who
that's a
voted
high
that
number.
way. And 67% said, I'm done for. And yeah, I 100% agree with that one. I would just die.
Yeah, that's me too. I have no skills for surviving.
Yes, especially in a place that cold, because I get shivers at like 10 degrees.
Everyone gets cold at 10 degrees. It's cold.
In Fahrenheit, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's very cold in Fahrenheit.
And then we had a bonus question. Reply with one item that you would take with you. And Emily on Instagram said, Dave! So you can both die together. Isn't that romantic?
No, so I'm the one who has to shoot the dogs. That's my problem now.
It wasn't even a romantic thing. It was just like, I'm gonna make him do the bad shit.
I mean, you
I'm gonna
asked,
make
you
I'm
asked
gonna
for
make
an
this-
item.
shitty situation much better. So I'm a tool. I am here to shoot the dogs.
I've always known you were
I'm
a
powered
tool.
off in a box until the dogs need to be shot.
That was traumatic. Don't bring that up again.
My directive opens up, my eyes glow red. Dead or
and-
alive, you're coming with me.
May from @GameTogetherPod on Twitter said, I keep spirits up to the actually useful people. I mean, fair, very fair. And I would bring my phone to call for help. I don't know how it looks with telephone poles in the Arctic. So I don't know how useful that is.
Yeah,
You just call Phil and be like, this is the stupidest shit I have ever been in.
He tried to one up us, but that phone has no service. He's a fool. He has a phone that doesn't work.
I mean, at this point, there are settlements or research settlements in the Arctic, so maybe they even have better internet than we here in Germany. I would not be surprised.
What
Plot
year is this
twist.
taking place? It can't be
It's
internet years.
no. It's not. It doesn't set a date in history because it isn't set in
It doesn't
like
exist.
Earth
There is no
like
history.
Earth history. It would be around 1900, I would guess 1920.
It's roughly when Megatron was found.
We'll be coming back to Transformers in this episode 3 times. Some fun news. Bellular Studios is actually co-founded by a YouTuber by the name of Michael Bell. He and his friend Thomas Hislop back in the day made a World of Warcraft mod, which made them very big in the World of Warcraft scene. And then Michael went on and did a whole channel about Warcraft, and he's still doing that. So he is, he's the head of this game studio that has existed, I think, since 2013, which is for how long they've been trying to get a game out. Took them till 2023. Yeah, and now they have their first game out, and I think that's really cool. YouTubers can do stuff. And going back to the point that we just made, they very intentionally said that they did not want to use a historical setting, but an historically adjacent one. So they had more creative freedom in design of the characters. They could also put women on the ship, which would not have been possible if they used an Earth history in that sense.
Back in the 1920s, there was just like an invisible barrier that women just couldn't get on ships and shit.
Yeah, I mean, there was.
It took a few years and
patriarchy
some for a patch to come in.
They also have a lot of stuff about development on their YouTube channel. So if you on YouTube you put in Bellular Studios, you will find a lot of that. Also, if you want a taste of the music, they actually have this kind of like sounds to relax to on their channel as well. So that's part of their music. The calmer ones, of course, not the high tension tracks, but it's very good. So if you want to give that a listen to check out the music, go do that too. And that's all from me. I love this game. Go buy it, please.
Well, you heard it here. You are now forced to buy The Pale Beyond if you made it this far.
Yes.
If you guys enjoyed this episode, go out and spend $20 to kill some dogs.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be behind the spoiler part, and it just lasted the rest of the episode.
I tried.
All right, notable game releases. Starting off with Chia. That's March 21st on PS4, PS5, and PC. I'm excited for that. That game looks like fun.
I think it's gonna be fun. Turn into a ball, roll around.
Turn into a dog.
Don't get killed.
Yeah, you probably can.
Don't get shot.
Well, I don't think that'll happen.
Me neither.
I don't know how to pronounce this. Mr. Saitao.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. March 23rd, PC, Mac, and Linux. Lyle?
It's like a very short story game about Mr. Saito, about life, and it has dogs with long necks in it.
With long necks?
Yeah.
I think that's just a giraffe.
They look like
Mr.
dogs.
Saito's just
though.
confused.
I think it's just supernatural creatures. I've just been calling them dogs with long necks.
Are these just small deer walking around?
I don't think so. I think they are just some sort, maybe of Japanese, like folklore or something.
Yeah, those are just. They're not even dogs with long necks. The whole dog is a neck.
Yes, it's very cute. Also, on the 23rd of March, we have Storyteller. I'm so excited for that one.
Fucking llama. That's an alpaca.
Have you looked it up now?
Of course I have. We all are. Because this is bullshit.
We have Storyteller coming for PC and Nintendo Switch. And I'm looking forward to a small puzzle game like this. That looks cute.
so familiar.
I think they look like the two dog heads from Fogs, but
Anyway, rounding it off, the Resident Evil 4 remake is coming on March 24th to PC, PS4, PS5, PSVR 2, and Xbox Series X and S. Well,
and that's it.
that's that.
Speaking
That's
about
it.
games with dead dogs in it,
There's a lot of that in Resident Evil games, just in general. Undead dogs.
That's one of the biggest
But
controversies
those-
because in
Those
the
are
original you
mutant
could save
dogs,
the dog.
though.
Oh, right. Yeah, the original game.
In the original
Yeah.
you could save the dog. This one's just nah.
But those are
weeks too
mutant dogs. I think that's different from a normal cute dog. That's
Well,
super useful.
don't they
also.
start out as normal, cute dogs? And then
I
they
have never
become-
played a Resident Evil, so I have no idea.
They start out as as cute dogs, and then they become zombie dogs.
Okay, fine. At least you don't turn them into zombie, do you? It's not you, is it?
Range. He just hates dogs. Zombie dog.
Asshole dog. We like dogs on this podcast.
We understand it may have gotten a little confusing, our feelings on dogs.
I
This
have
episode
one at
is-
home. I love him.
All the episodes are just satire. We don't kill dogs.
Wow,
Nice satire law.
That was
We're
the
in the
most-
clear.
that was the most serial killer thing you might have ever said.
No, what I wanna come across that I'm just the most believable person. I do not go out and kill dogs.